You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Wednesday the 26th of March, 2025. It is 6 days after the spring equinox. It is 86 days before the summer solstice. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 6th day of Germinal, the day of the Bête, the chard. The sun rises today at 6:49 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 1:01 p.m. The sun sets today at 7:14 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 7:42 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 8:14 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 42 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waning crescent phase and is 11% full at midday. The new moon will arrive on Saturday, the 29th of March. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, low tide, 2:01 a.m., 9 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 8:24 a.m., 1 meter 46. In the afternoon, low tide, 2:35 p.m., minus 3 centimeters. In the evening, high tide, 8:57 p.m., 1 meter 46. In our shared realm of plants and animals, the Callery pear trees are just about to burst into their springtime white flower display. Their buds are full and are just beginning to push outwards. Commemorations. On this day in the year 127, the Greek astronomer and mathematician Ptolemy began his systematic observations of celestial bodies. He would continue this practice for the next 14 years. On this day in the year 624, Eid al-Fitr was celebrated for the very first time. Eid is the festival that marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan. On this day in the year 1169, Salah ad-Din, or Saladin, became the emir of Egypt. He would go on to recapture Jerusalem from the Crusaders. On this day in 1812, the term gerrymander was first used, appearing in a political cartoon in the Boston Gazette. A gerrymander is an oddly shaped electoral district designed to rig the election process. On this day in 1845, the New Yorker Joseph Francis patented a stamped corrugated metal lifeboat. His inexpensive and highly effective small craft proved popular, and in 1853 he opened a factory in Greenpoint, where hydraulic presses could turn out parts for 40 boats a day. On this day in 1937, the spinach growers of Crystal City, Texas, erected a large statue of Popeye. The cartoon character had transformed the public's view of spinach, which became suddenly popular during the depths of the Great Depression. The statue stands in Crystal City to this day. The town holds an annual spinach festival every November. On this day in 1967, 10,000 people gathered at the Sheep Meadow in Central Park for a bee-in. The bee-in reflected the hippie counterculture of the time, but participants came from a wide swath of the city's residents. The New York Times said many of the people at the event wore carnation petals and paper stars and tiny mirrors on foreheads, paint around the mouth and cheeks, flowering bedsheets, buttons, and tights. When the first police car arrived to monitor the situation in the park, it was covered in flowers by the hippies, who chanted, "Daffodil Power." The police withdrew. Otherwise, the day passed largely in peace and without incident. On this day in 1979, Anwar al-Sadat, Menachem Begin, and Jimmy Carter signed the Egypt-Israel Peace Treaty in Washington, D.C. Sadly, as we can see now, the conflict in the region is as raw and brutal as it has ever been. The peacemakers have been thwarted at every turn. And finally, today is Independence Day in Bangladesh. And that is the Observatory, Wednesday the 26th of March, 2025.